welcome everybody. This is episode number 2 of my podcast for the Boricua en la Luna blog. And I'm here today with somebody that I care a lot about, and Flora Santiago. Like, I've known her, for years. I know her through her daughter, Melissa Claudio. And what can I say about this lady? She is a great humanitarian. She has, a love not only for Puerto Rico and her country, but she has a love just for her just fellow, human being. Because, it doesn't matter where you are, where you come from. I've seen Flora like welcome people into her home, and just be very caring, very loving, and just share, everything that she can, share with you. Like, I know that I've seen her share it quite often. So welcome to the show, Flora.
Thank you. I want to let you know how I got from Puerto Rico to the Bronx.
Okay.
I was about 8 years old, and they took me to the Bronx. And then there, they took me from a mountain where there's a lot of trees and beautiful scenery to a place where there was not even one tree. Yeah, just many buildings. So that's it.
Just Central Park.
I was about 8 years old, and I lost my mind, really. I didn't know where I came from in the Bronx. But I met a lot of Puerto Ricans there that are really Puerto Ricans, really there. More Puerto Ricans than here in Puerto Rico, because they love the country and they're away from it. And they told me, Flora, you have a nation that's called Puerto Rico. And I started to study about Puerto Rico, or Boricua, the way that people call it. And there I became Puerto Rican, really Puerto Rican. I lived there for a long time.
25 years.
Yeah, about 25 years. I went to PS20, and then I went to Junior High School 60, and then I went to Morris High School, Antioch School of Law, and all that stuff. There, I met Pepe Sanchez. That's how I started to sing, because Pepe Sanchez and I made a duo. What is a duo? How do you say duo in sing?
Duo.
Yeah. Like a duo, yeah, a singing duo.
Yes, and we started singing there. By the way, we have LPs. You know what LPs is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, honestly, they're making a comeback now. Like, all the young people, like, ever since they did away with the CDs, now they're using LPs again. So
this is one of our LPs, Pepe Flora.
wow.
Many years.
Was that the first one? Was that your first one?
This is the first one, right?
This is the first one, yes. And this is the second one here. Okay. And we were singing there. While we were singing, we sang on the streets and in different places. People from Puerto Rico started going there to sing too, como like Andres Jimenez, El Topo, Roy Brown, Noel Hernandez, and a lot of other people. And we met there. And we started to say, we are singing about the same thing, singing about our nation, and trying to get people to really feel Puerto Rican.
Right.
And so Pepe and I came back to Puerto Rico, and we started the Grupo Taoné. which is
T-A-O.
Taone, Taone, which means, oh wow, how do you say that in English? Canto del coquí and
Oh,
elements
the singing of the coqui, of the
The singing
coqui
of the
frog.
coquí in the
Yep.
morning.
in the morning. Yes, that's the first group that sung protest music in in Puerto Rico. The first group. And we went all over the island, just singing in the streets to let people know that we should be proud of having a nation and really being Puerto Ricans.
And how was that received, like to the people? Because we all know, like, for a while Puerto Rico has been very polarized. Politics play a lot into things, but you have a genuine love, and that comes out through. And you, like, I've always known, you respect everybody, regardless. You have your point of view, but like, how was that received? That coming out as a kind of a new genre in the island. How were the people receiving towards that?
Yes, the people received it very well and identified with what we were singing and what we felt. Slowly but surely, and we really made, we went the whole island from one place to the other.
They made a big impact.
And yes, we made a big impact. We have LPs. Let me show you.
Oh.
Here.
Oh, I can't hear you anymore. I'm sorry. Can you check your microphone?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah. And there's another one here. You see, we all made all that thing. And there's another one here. Here.
So I could see like a couple where like Canto del Coquí, A Fuerza Cantar.
Yes. All over. And we have one here that says Taone en Cuba. We went to Cuba and we sang there all over Cuba.
So when you started singing, were the songs that you sang, like, were they when you started, were they like cover, like just singing songs that had been already composed, or did you already have, like, with Pepe and with them, you already had your own songs that you wrote? Because I mean, for those that don't know, Flora is a very prolific writer. Like, she writes a lot of poems, writes a lot of songs. I'm sorry, your microphone seems to cut off again.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We sang songs that we wrote and sang songs from other people that always said what we wanted to say too. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And then after that, we have when Taone, everybody went to their places and stuff, their own ways. I joined another group, Taller Criollo,
Okay.
which is we had a.
And that one was more recently, like in when was that? Like, that was in like 2000 and.
Bring me my first. Yeah, that was after the. I don't remember the year that. 95, yes, about 95.
Wow.
And I want to, and with that group we had we made this one here.
Yeah, with a gallo.
After, yes, that's Taller Criollo. Unfortunately, the director
Lead singer.
is not alive now.
Yeah.
Galdo Delgado, unfortunately he died.
He passed away.
He passed away, yes. But
Rest
anyway,
in
we
peace.
we did the same things with this group.
But in that in those in this CD, she sang songs that she wrote and sang songs that other people wrote, like Rafael Cancel Miranda.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, and there's like there are like Maria Enrique Velázquez also. She sang songs from him.
Right.
Which
Also,
is a person known by all Puerto Rico and everywhere. And we did the same thing that we did with Taone, with this group. I started to write poems, and my first book is called Andando Sola, Querencias y Vivencias. And I call it because one of the songs that people like most was that
that you wrote.
that I wrote,
That
and I
poem.
put music. We put music, and we did it. And after that, I wrote another book, and I was so
In love.
in love with my first book that I titled this book Poemas Escritos Después de Mi Libro, poems written after my first book.
That's a great title.
So that you know, and oh wow, look at here, look at here. This is
Yeah,
a
one of my favorites.
Yes, that
So
I
that's
with my daughter, and we call it de una flor a otra flor, from one flower to the other, because my name is Flora, which means flower, right? And
right.
and I have a little flower right here.
And for
to me.
those that don't know, like Melissa, she has been following her mom, wherever, she's gone out to sing and, and perform at, Melissa has either been there, and then sometimes like she's actually, joined along, with her mom and sang along with her. And she, she performed some of these, songs as, beautifully. They do great harmony, because I'm sure because you've been around each other, so much, and you love, the love for your mom, just shows so much when you guys sing together. It's just great.
Yes, and people love it, and we love it. So
it was
Right.
really interesting, because people kept on asking us to make a CD, or to record music together, because we were singing around and we sounded so good and all that. So they just wanted us to write, and at first I was like, no, I don't want to do that. But then mom went like, oh, but let's do it. And I was like, okay, well, fine, let's just do it.
Then,
So
I joined a group of poets that's called Poetas en Marcha. How do you say that in English?
the Poets on the March.
On the march. Yes.
Yeah.
And we are doing the same thing that we did with songs. We are doing that with poems all over the island. And that's what I'm doing now, really. And I'm
great.
I'm so glad, that I can do that.
Are there any more like poems and books coming up? Are you working on things right now?
Not really. I have this here, so I'm using that for everything I do. So and really, I'm doing so many things that I don't have time to write anything.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Flora is always busy. whenever she, she wasn't performing, doing this other things, she worked in Servidores Públicos Unidos before she retired. So,
Oh, yes,
so that
20
kept her
years.
very busy. And that,
Because
she was,
¿cómo se
even through
llama?
that, she was looking out for the rights of, like the workers, and
Oh, oh,
public workers in the island, when she wasn't, like, performing,
all the
and
time,
talking. Yep. So
all the time, all the time. And I go from one piquete to the other, and
One strike to the
one
other.
strike to the other. Every day, everything that comes up, I go out to the street. And now I'm 79, so
and you're still
but I feel
at it.
great. But I feel
So
great, and I'm
what are
gonna
you
continue.
like most proud of? Because, like, you have done so much throughout your career, through your life, and just basically through family and friends. What are you most proud of, that you have done, in your career, in your personal life? Well, what do you find that is the most fulfilling for you?
But I feel so glad that I can talk to people, that I can communicate to the people, not only with songs but with poems and everything else. So that's what I really like. I really like to say to the people, this is your nation. You have to love it, and you have to make it free for all of us.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I love most. It's just having communication with our people.
So, like, for those people that are looking at my blog, here in the U.S., that are Puerto Rican, and maybe they're trying to find their identity, because they're not physically connected to the island. It's a little bit easier now, at least, because there's social media and there's a lot of ways to connect us nowadays. But, like, how did you stay connected, to that love of country, to that culture? And then what do you kind of like say to them, now, to those that have that hunger to, like, seek, out, their roots and their culture, how they say, what kind of advice do you give to them?
Well, I can tell them we are here for you, and our doors are open for you to come back to your nation. But if you have to stay somewhere else, just fight for our nation wherever you are. And that's what I defend it. And defend it. Yeah, fight and defend it.
Absolutely.
That's what I say to our people. I love all kinds of people, because it doesn't matter to me. We want to be part of the Nación de Latin nation. Yeah, the Latin nations. We want to be parte de las de los okay, Latin nations. Anyway, right. I'm trying to look to sound somewhere else, but anyway, and we have to really fight for our freedom, so we can have our nation to ourselves, and then have communication with the whole world. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you're saying that honestly, with luck, because I think a lot of people, they have maybe their way of thinking of things that work, things that don't work, for when it comes to their the status of Puerto Rico. But like, I think, like, what a lot of people don't understand is that everybody goes into that with love. And I know you respect that, because it's they're not going in there to try to mess up things purposely. At least, Lord knows that there's enough of that happens. But but you can see like your love, like towards the things that you defend, towards the way that you approach it, and I think that is really beautiful, the way that you do that.
Thank you. This nation has everything to offer. We have oceans, rios, rivers, mountains, everything, and it's a beautiful, beautiful country, and we want to have it to ourselves and share it with people, the whole world. Yes.
Right. Okay. Let me see what other. So I just want to thank you, so much from the bottom of my heart, because again, you've always opened up your heart and your doors, to me and to others. And what do you see the future holding, for you, and what are your hopes for your art, in the future?
I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing now with my books and saying poems and stuff, and talking to people, going to protests and stuff, and trying to get people to really love their country and be proud of it, because so many years of colonialism, it's not easy for Puerto Ricans to be proud of our nation, but they are. A pesar de eso,
In spite of that.
in spite of that, so I'm gonna keep on working for that all my life.
Okay, that's great. All right. Well, I would like to thank Flora and Melissa for coming on to the program. Their contributions to Puerto Rican culture, it is immeasurable. Like, she has been a pioneer, and she will continue, like she said, to be a presence, that's felt inside Puerto Rico and in the world, in that respect, towards fighting for the rights of Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans. So thank you very much, Flora, and thanks for coming on the program.
I thank you. I thank you for giving me this opportunity to communicate with all the people that are going to see this program or listen to this program, whatever. So thank you very, very much.
Hace un tiempo que yo fui al extranjero a cantar. Hace un tiempo